That.
Okay, do you mind if I record this? Hello, Masood. Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay, do you mind if I record this?
Sure.
Okay, because
Don't post it to YouTube.
so before we start, what are you up to these days, Leela?
Nothing, just finishing up the school year.
Okay. What are you doing? How's your volleyball going?
The season's over. We just have a doubles tournament, and then we're done.
I see. Okay. And when is school over then?
June 7th, maybe, or June 9th. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Cool. And I understand you have a friend, a special friend who's a boy.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Austin.
Austin. Well, please tell Austin your grandpa says hello.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, what can I help you with? How can I help you with your assignment?
Oh, it's not an assignment. I was just, my mom just told me that you knew you kind of worked with the author of a book we're reading in history now. So I thought that was interesting and just wanted to hear more about him.
Well, what book are you reading?
It's David Chopra's Muhammad.
Deepak Chopra.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called Muhammad. It's about the Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, okay. Can you hold on one second?
That was our phone, I think. It was our phone, Grandpa.
Oh, it's your phone.
Yeah.
So,
Deepak Chopra, Dad. Deepak Chopra.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting. So this book here, which your mom pretty much wrote or co-wrote with me a long time ago. This was about, let's see, when this book came out, it was about 19. I think you had this book on your shelf even. Yeah, about 1994. You have that book? Do you recall it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think I've seen it in your library downstairs. But your mom pretty much researched and wrote this for me. And she was the one who first quoted Deepak Chopra in my work. So if you get that book and look at page 13, okay, and if you do not have the book, it's called The Wellness RX, and that's your grandpa, and I look just like that now. If you don't have the book, you can go to my website, edwardtaubmd.com, and you can download the book for free. And so this is what your mom chooses to write. Isn't this cool? Let's see, 1994, how long was that? It was about 22 years ago. She actually wrote it about 24 years ago for me. So she writes, Dr. Deepak Chopra challenges his patients to push at the edge of their perception and see themselves as connected to the energy patterns uniting the cosmos. He likens people to candles or stars that are concentrated energy, inextricably linked to the infinite field of energy that gives birth to and sustains human life. That's pretty complicated, isn't it? So your mom goes on and writes, the energy of your body is inextricably woven into the fabric of the universe. And the task of unraveling this fabric to see the patterns of threads that weave your life together through space and time is difficult. But you are a thread in the very fabric of all life, and what touches others touches you. What touches you touches others. So see yourself as a star in the vast constellation of souls swirling around you. Your mother, your friends, your father, your neighbors, your community, your nation, and the world. Because you are the sun. So how can you help bring balance to your star and the souls in your constellation? This is your purpose and mission. So the reason I read that, and I'll send you the video and you can read it yourself, is that's how your mom interpreted Deepak Chopra back in the early 90s. So I got to know him because I had started writing my books in the late 70s. And I was basically saying what he began to say in his books, but I was saying it in a way that I thought was much more appropriate for ordinary people rather than the intelligentsia, rather than the high intellect, highly spiritual people who are already out there, because I was in pediatric practice and I needed to have mothers and fathers and kids understand what I was talking about. Are you with me? So as a matter of fact, I'm just looking here at his first book, and that's called Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. And he wrote this in 1993, actually. And by this time, I had written several of my books. And I'm just looking at what I wrote on the blank page, the first page of his book, after I reviewed it. Can I read that for you? Okay, I wrote, I have trouble reading my own doctor's handwriting. I wrote, "This is a fabulous book. It literally explains how the mind and the body are one." Okay, and it shows that there are certain genetic probabilities it shows there are certain genetic probabilities and some biologically determined patterns that we have to live with, but we can still live for more than 100 years relatively disease-free. And then I wrote, that's exactly what I wrote in my former book. So what I write, though, is the problem with Dr. Chopra's book is that it takes 3 or 4 full 8-hour days to even read, and it's directed to the intelligentsia, the very highly intelligent people. So getting to the highly intelligent people is not really a problem for me, and it's not what I want my books to do. I want my books to be a patient manual that's easily readable and understandable by anyone at any intelligent level. I want the background and basis of my work to be easily digestible in a few hours or a half a day. It needs to be a treatment strategy that anybody can understand. So Dr. Chopra is just brilliant. And when he was a lot younger than he is right now, and probably not as commercially oriented, it was like his statements were coming from some higher power in the universe, because it was just brilliant. It's like pearls were coming out of his mouth in his words. And basically what he was saying is that we're all energy, and our energy is connected to information. And this energy and this information, which is what we call consciousness, that this consciousness then makes up our body. And we can change our consciousness to change our bodies. So his hypothesis or his thesis was that if we can change our thoughts and keep our mind pure and understand that we're energy, that we can also live more healthfully and feel better. So that was pretty much what he started with this book. Now, what happened then is this book called Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. It was reviewed by Oprah Winfrey, and he was on her program. And all of a sudden, his popularity exploded. He became incredibly famous. A couple of 100,000 people bought his book in the next 24 or 48 hours, and he became a real superstar. So as a superstar, he's made some great progress and helped a lot of people. And he's also become very, very commercial. He's probably worth over $100 million right now, because he has these herbs and he has these classes, and his lectures, he doesn't lecture for less than $25,000, and he's become a friend with all of the super celebrities out there. So he's still very smart and he's still very intelligent. He's still a very great doctor and human being. And that's about it. Basically, he started as he was trained in India in medical school, and then went to Boston, and he was a professor and a chairman of a department in New England, and then began writing his books, and finally came out to California, and he lives and works in Carlsbad at a very upscale resort called La Costa. And I've met him personally a couple of times, and not for any long period of time, mostly just to say hello, shake his hand, and introduce ourselves to each other. And that's about it. He's a superstar as a doctor and a celebrity and a philosopher and a thinker. And ironically, it was your mom who really brought him to my attention by putting him in this book that she helped me write.
Thanks.
So I hope I haven't talked too much.
No,
Do you have any questions?
you answered all of them.
I didn't even know what they were.
Well, it was mostly like have you personally interacted with him? Have you worked with him? Like, what do you think his main messages were, which you all explained? So.
What's that?
Well, my questions were, have you personally worked or interacted with him, and what do you think his main messages were? And you explained all of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was, just as an aside, I was personally grateful to him because he gave me a very nice comment in one of my books, The 7 Steps to Self-Healing. He wrote about it that it was, quote, responsible complementary medicine, end quote. So that I put that quote on the book.
Oh.
So that was a nice favor that he did.
Yeah.
And actually, just recently, you remember when you were out here in California and you met my friends Marvin Winkler,
Mm-hmm.
and Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
Sherry, and some others in their family. And and Marvin he's been my patient as well as my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvin asked me a couple of years ago what I thought about Deepak Chopra. And I pretty much told him just what I told you. So Marvin and his wife, Sherry, went to a seminar with Dr. Chopra at La Costa at the resort, I think about 2 years ago. And they stayed there for about a week. And they thought it was just wonderful. Lots of meditation, lots of spiritual counseling, and they feel they got a great deal out of it.
That's good. What are your plans for the rest of the weekend?
My plans for the weekend, well, I'm going to go walking probably with Marvin in about an hour, even though it's drizzly here and cold.
Yeah, same here.
Really? Bummer. And just kind of kicking back and not doing much. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
We're probably gonna go out for dinner at a restaurant that we go to every year on Mother's Day.
What restaurant is that?
It's called Sette Luna. It's an Italian restaurant.
Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's terrific. Good. And how is your big brother?
He's good. He had his band concert last night, so we all went to that.
Oh, cool. Was he playing the French horn?
Yep.
Hello, Grandpa. send him a video.
My mom will send you a video.
Oh, okay, good, because he's been threatening for about a year to give me a little private concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look so nice. I think your hairdo's beautiful.
Thank you.
Have you seen my lush mustache? I'm growing that. See that?
Good. You
It's
said it.
good.
You said it free, Dad. It's good.
I did. I'm having my second midlife crisis, Masood.
Oh, Dad, it's not a crisis when you're feeling comfortable to sail into uncharted waters. You know, it's actually very enjoying. So.
My first midlife crisis, which Laura will remember, I wound up buying a little red MG convertible, a 1957 MG convertible. It looked just like the movie, that Chitty Chitty Bing Bang movie.
I mean, it's a good car. It's definitely it holds its character still, even nowadays. You know, those.
Yeah, it was fire engine red and a convertible. It was really cool. And I wasn't able to take care of it very well, for sure.
I'm sure it served its purpose. You know, it's helped you satisfy what you were looking for then. You know, that's the whole purpose of it, right?
Exactly. And now I've gone from little red MG convertibles to working on my mustache.
Nice.
Because my energy and the intelligence connected to it is propelling me to do these things. So,
well, you relate fun in life in different things, you know.
Can you come down a little, Masood, so I can see you?
We relate the concept of having fun in life with different things, you know.
That's right.
Realize that everything is fun that you're doing, you know.
That's right. That's right. We're trying anyway.
Good.
So Deepak Chopra, by the way, Leila, he's an extraordinary individual. He's a wonderful doctor. He's certainly tapped into something in the universe that gives him some very, very special knowledge. And he shares it in his books.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so what else is cooking in your life?
Nothing really.
No? Okay. Can you add to that, Masood?
The usual stuff, Dad. You know, school. She exercises with Mom. They go to exercise. She still plays her guitar and sings. She does her volleyball. You know, her friends are now more mature, more developed. So they are, you know, in the right path, in the right time, giving each other good company. So everything's good.
That's terrific.
Still enjoys her room more than enjoying the rest of the house, but I'm sure eventually she'll claim the rest of the house.
Well, and I'm sure your room is like totally, completely neat. See?
Yes.
I thought it would be okay. Well, I look forward to seeing you out here this summer.
Me too.
And I know your mom and dad will be making some plans. I hope so.
We're sorting things out, Dad. We're gonna see how things go.
I hope so. Because maybe we missed you this Easter vacation. You guys were in Charlotte.
Yeah.
We were here. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Just after you guys got back from Charlotte, and that didn't work out, I met on Curlew on the boat. Just one of the wealthiest, most powerful women in Charlotte.
Nice.
Who's a CEO of a company, a wind energy company. No, I'm sorry, solar energy company. National Solar Energy Company. And she was telling me what a nice area that is. But so is Allentown.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. No, we enjoyed visiting, you know. We liked it. Especially on our way back down further, we went to Charleston.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful part of the country, you know.
Really?
really nice historically. You know, all that you kind of walk. If you take black and white pictures or movie, you feel like you're actually walking in that era, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Layla, are there any other? Thank you, Masood. Is there any
Right,
questions I can answer for you? No? Did you read that book on poetry I sent you?
Mhm.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
She's
I
got, huh?
I loved it.
Oh, good. Yeah. She's got several more that she's written now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And you know, if you like her work, are you familiar with I think he's a Persian poet, Rumi, Rumi?
Mhm.
Yeah. She seems to me to be like a modern version of Rumi.
Mhm.
It was beautiful. Well, you are beautiful, and I love talking with you, and hope we talk with you again.
Thank you.
Say hello to your brother. Give him my love.
I will.
Enjoy Mother's Day tomorrow.
Thanks.
I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.